There is a whole lot of weirdness going on in Canada, especially as it pertains to Tesla, but it's not just Tesla, it's SpaceX, it's Starlink, it's more. These are very strange times in which we live. We're looking at Ontario rescinding big contracts. We're looking at BC making chargers ineligible. We're looking at investigations into some very questionable practices, assuming you don't know what practices look like and you're looking from the outside in and don't know how it works. All of this needs to be addressed, so we're going to do that today. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So what have we got here? Going to get this done quick. Normally I would sit on one like this for a few days, get a Canadian expert in here for it, but this is too big to ignore. Canadian power provider excludes Tesla chargers from the EV rebates. Yes, BC Hydro, very big utility, is striking back against Trump's wealthiest surrogate Elon by making Tesla chargers ineligible for EV rebates in BC. Citizens who purchase electric vehicles chargers could get up to $350 rebate for units made by Tesla. Well, you know what? Get rid of them. We don't want them. Well, why are you striking back at Tesla? Well, because they want to strike back at Elon, but there is no way to do that personally, directly. They can harm the company. They can harm the engineers, the manufacturing workers, the shareholders. They can harm all of those people. And they're okay with that because they view it as the only effective way to actually impact the man at the top. What else can they do? Now, we do need to address this. What is going on with the $43 million in rebates Tesla claimed in Canada over 3 days? Guys, I've already made 2 videos about this, and in the comments, there are a lot of people who still don't get it because they haven't watched the 2 videos they're leaving comments on. There are a lot of explanations that make sense here, the biggest being that the rebates were not processed in a timely manner. You have up to 90 days to process them. It's likely that we were looking at weeks of paperwork that hadn't been submitted yet. And even on top of that, you can move a whole lot of cars. Well, they sold 8,000 out of one location. No, they didn't. They sold 8,600 and I think 93 or 53 nationwide over that period. And they didn't actually necessarily sell them. Guys, this isn't just money you get for free. You have to actually submit all of the paperwork. It has to be verified before the check is cut. But don't worry, an investigation is ongoing. And if you're telling me I'm being premature and saying that it is not yet time to say nothing happened, I'm telling you it is premature to say something definitely did happen. Stop that, won't you? Canadian officials cancel the Starlink contract and propose 100% tariffs on Teslas. Musk is in the firing line for Trump's pointless economic war on its allies. It's a weird one. Trump has unleashed economic warfare on 2 of America's most closely aligned trading partners and political allies, Mexico and Canada. Well, add China to that list. That's our top 3 trading partners. We have trade wars with all 3 of our top trading partners. Oh, but Brian, this is going to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. No, not quickly enough. That's not the way to do it. There are ways to do it, but you're trying to make a very large ship turn on a dime. And what you're doing, the easiest way to do that is if we punch enough holes in one side of the ship, it'll turn. Maybe, but you're going to sink the ship. You're going to cause irreparable damage. Don't do that. In response, these countries have instituted many of their own retaliatory tariffs and economic punishments, including some targeted at Trump's political partner, Doge, individual Elon Musk. No colorful language here, you guys. Doug Ford announced the $100 million Starlink contract canceled. And Ford said that American companies, not just Tesla and SpaceX, would be forbidden from bidding on $30 billion worth of procurement contracts that are annually paid out by the province's government. US-based businesses will now lose out on that. You see, it's all moving pieces. They all move together. This is a concert. International trade is complicated. And slash and burn is a weird way to do it. It doesn't always work out the best for the slasher burner. So what have we got next? Well, this is crazy. Musk responds to Canadian Tesla tariffs. Why it matters. Somebody had tweeted saying that you should cut off Canadian access to SpaceX and Starlink in retaliation. And Elon reposted it. He reposted it on X. That's bad. That is a bad look. If the concern is that You are being too political. Well, I'm not political. I'm just the CEO of a company. This is political. This is political. You're, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is dangerous. These companies will seek other opportunities. This opens the door for a Chinese constellation to start handling internet instead, for Amazon's Kuiper constellation to get its foot in the door if it ever gets off the ground. This is, if you are in a position where you are viewed as the agent of a hostile foreign government, you're going to have some problems doing business in those countries. And yeah, there's Carlos Slim, who Elon said must be aligned with cartels. Carlos Slim pulled $30 billion contract to provide Latin America with Starlink. I'm not a Starlink shareholder or a SpaceX shareholder. Very few people are. It is not publicly traded. It is privately traded. It is owned by investors, but they are not publicly traded on the public market. And if you're going to be saying, yeah, we should definitely, if you're reposting that, when you see a post like that, you should say, no, we are neutral. SpaceX is not part of this party. We are not here to dance. We are here to do business. But instead, you've got the CEO doing this. Now, I should tell you that there is more to this story that I'm not sharing publicly, that I'm posting only to Patreon and X and YouTube supporters because it's more sensitive in nature, and I don't wish to give bad actors any ideas, but these impacts are more far-reaching than you may realize. So looking at this, Tesla announces significant price increases across vehicles in Canada. That's not good. But it makes sense. The hikes are anywhere from a couple thousand, 3,000 up to 6,000 plus. Why? Well, because there's tariffs taking effect. There's different policies taking effect. It's tough. And the entire auto industry is facing it. It is vehicles, a grenade lobbed into auto production. For decades, auto companies have built supply chains that came across the borders of the United States, Mexico, and Canada. More than 1 in 5 of the cars and light trucks sold in the U.S. were built in Canada or Mexico. Well, I want those factories here. Oh, okay, but you wrote the trade agreement that allowed them to be built in other countries. I don't know what those companies are supposed to do. So what do we do about this? People will forget. People have a short-term memory. People forget that who founded Volkswagen. Right, but that guy's been dead for 80 years. And he left the company in pretty spectacular fashion. People forget about Dieselgate. That was only a few years ago. Right, but they reversed course. First, you have to reverse course. Forgive and forget has a waiting period, but it doesn't start until the damage is done, until it's finished. So what am I calling for them to do? Nothing. I'm not calling for anybody to do anything. Canadian reporters grill Rubio over Trump's 51st state talk. If a different president had said that we should invade a foreign country and seize their territory, take over a country, I don't think that would have gone over very well. I don't know why it's being received as positively as it is. The overwhelming majority of Canadians are not excited about moves like this. They want their independence. They want to remain a free country. They want to remain free to do the things that their elected leaders have them do on their behalf. That's normal. If some country said that they wanted to annex us, wouldn't we boo their national anthem in our stadiums? I think we'd do more than that. I think we would be very, very upset in ways that are maybe not the most legal or healthy, but I would understand it. So this is all very strange. They're targeting Elon, but when they do that, they're targeting everybody. They're targeting the people who work there. They're targeting the engineers. They're targeting channels like mine, even though I am happy to say the truth, the uncomfortable truth, the awkward, painful truth. It's a real kick in the butt, It's unfortunate. And it means that there are knock-on effects that I will be discussing in the bonus video today. If you're seeing this, it's already up on any of those places. Don't sign up just to watch that. It's not that exciting. But if you are signed up on one of those, you can hear what's really going on that's actually causing harm, and who is actually surprisingly speaking up against it. What do we do? Well, at some point, Doge will end. Maybe the healing begins then. At some point, maybe the government will normalize a bit. We'll revert to doing normal government things instead of some of these more peculiar, overreaching things that are celebrated by a handful of people on the extremes who don't understand how the process works. I don't fault them for not knowing. I don't fault people for being wrong. And I certainly don't fault people for being lied to. But if you want forgiveness, you got to start by apologizing and doing the right thing, whatever it is that your personal mistake may be. There's harm being caused, and we need to understand why and decide if it's worth it. Is it worth it? It's a tough call. What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Keep the comments civil. I've had one guy who keeps saying, how come you keep blocking my comments? I'm not blocking your comments. I think YouTube might be blocking your comments. I've had YouTube block one of my comments. Somebody said, this is a great way. These tariff threats are a great way to get everyone to the negotiating table. I said, yeah, well, it's also, you can get someone to the negotiating table by pulling a gun, but that's not a good idea. I don't think that comment ever showed up. I can see that there is a comment there, but even I cannot see my own comment that I left. So YouTube will absolutely remove your comments if it believes that if you are using a forbidden word or doing something crazy. But really, if you're just going to be lazy and not understand topics before digging into them too deep, it may end up in the removed by someone for a handful of reasons. And if you're only here to spread misinformation, yeah, I am under no obligation to donate my free speech to support misinformation. I get that sometimes where people will try and say that EVs are big death fire machines. Every day they say it. Oh my gosh, post it on every video. Yeah, you're hidden from the channel, my friend. You can see your comments. No one else can, and no one else should have to. Everybody else, like, subscribe, do what you do. I appreciate the support you guys have been showing me. It means the world to me. Stay tuned, stay juicy. I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the next one.